The feline ownership experience. You can learn something new each and every day. And as soon as you declare that you've seen it all, your cat does something totally out of left field that you just never saw coming. For some cat owners, it's the open mouth stare. Is it funny? Is it scary? From personal experience, I can answer yes to both. My senior cat Burl gave the open mouth stare a few times, and let me tell you, it can be an interesting scene. Let's just say it's not really something I ever expected to see. So, what is it? Is it something of concern or just really nothing at all? Something of an anomaly? In this material, I'll talk about your cat's ability to smell, and yes, that wide mouth plays a role. Temperature control, those hot days. Your cat's mental and emotional state, the role of stress and anxiety. And your cat's overall health and wellness. Could the open mouth gaze be the side effect of illness and disease in the body? There's a lot to cover, and if you'll grant me about 8 to 10 minutes of your time, I promise to make it worth the time. The open mouth stare, what it can mean for your cat, and what it can mean for you. Interesting topic, and I've got you covered. Stay tuned. The open mouth stare, if you've never seen it before and your cat has never displayed it, it is what you likely think it is, a cat essentially looking like a dog. Perhaps, at least on the surface, is why the appearance can be a bit confusing, perhaps even a bit jarring. Whether consciously or subconsciously, we're all used to seeing dogs with an open mouth and cats with a closed mouth. The default setting, if you will, for felines is a closed mouth. This is why the open mouth gaze on a feline can garner many questions, and perhaps even more concerns. Let's start things off with smell and what is known as the flamin response. I've mentioned this subtopic several times here on the channel over the years, but in short, the flamin response occurs when a cat, mouth wide, attempts to investigate a scent, more often a new scent, something different that requires attention. The scent, is it friend or foe? The cat is on a mission to find out. With the use of the Jacobson's organ located at the roof of a feline's mouth, a cat is able to better understand and process exactly just what they're smelling, the makeup of the scent in question. When the nose just isn't enough, the flamin response with the Jacobson's organ allows a cat to better recognize the scent and really hone in on just what it is in more detail. As an example, a personal example, I know when I'm out and about and arrive home, one of my cats in particular will smell me with an open mouth. If I put my hand down, he'll display the open mouth stare. He's locking in on new scents, scents that are unfamiliar. He's attempting to figure out what they are and possibly just where I've been. Cats, when attempting to find a mate, it's all about tracking the scent. The flamin response and the Jacobson's organ can be used, and are often used, under this example. The open mouth, when used to identify a scent, totally harmless, totally normal. Just an example of a cat doing what it needs to do in order to examine a scent. If you've personally never seen it, I'd simply chalk that up to your cat being around things that are often quite familiar. No need to investigate what is already known. Moving right along, let's talk about temperature, and I'm not talking about just a run-of-the-mill warm summer afternoon. I'm talking extreme heat, extreme conditions. Cats, they're not like dogs. They don't make a life walking around with that tongue out. So, if you happen to glance over and your cat is in the middle of your backyard breathing heavy and panting, doing everything to look like a dog, this is a warning, a major red flag. If your cat is displaying the open mouth during a very hot day, please move your pet indoors immediately and provide them with a cool environment and fresh water. Again, it's not normal or common to see a cat actively panting. Be proactive if this does occur. Now let's talk about your cat's mental and emotional health. Felines are very sensitive animals, creatures of routine that work well in a controlled environment. Cats function best when they know what to expect day in and day out, especially in a home setting, surrounded by those they trust. If something or someone rocks this boat and causes tension and uncertainty to develop, significant stress and anxiety can lead a cat to behave in some rather atypical ways. Displaying the open mouth, especially during the heart of an anxiety-filled episode, it's not uncommon. This one is actually quite relatable on a human level. Have you ever seen something shocking, for positive or negative, and your response was jaw-dropping? Just total shock? If something traumatic occurs, something out of the norm, your cat could display an open-mouthed stare before either retreating or attempting to take an aggressive posture in response. And finally, let's talk health. General health, illness and disease, and perhaps injury. If your cat is suffering from a medical issue, the condition could cause your pet to display an open-mouthed posture for a variety of reasons. Compromised breathing, a response to intense pain, the possible onset of heat stroke along the lines of what I mentioned earlier with respect to panting. If your cat's open-mouthed posture has become perpetual, and especially if you are aware of a pre-existing health issue that your pet has been battling, please be proactive in this moment and seek professional medical care. If your cat's open mouth is just one of many concerning symptoms, please take your cat to the vet as soon as possible. As with so many feline topics, and so many issues, it all begins with you. The open mouth stare. Knowledge is king, and your ability to not only notice the open mouth, but understand when to act. This is critical. Understanding your cat's baseline personality, understanding how they act and behave on the very best of days. This can give you a nice blueprint that can help you immensely if things begin to drift away from what you've come to expect. Is your cat simply attempting to identify a new scent, or are they having some type of medical episode? Knowing when to act, so very important. In addition to understanding your cat's baseline, do everything you can to establish a positive environment in your home. No major stressors or negative surprises. Sure, we all know that life happens and there are certain things that you just can't control, but a calm and comfortable cat is a trusting and content cat. That's a good place. That's the sweet spot that you're looking for as a loving and responsible cat owner. The open mouth stare. I suppose it's possible for you to own a cat for years and never see it once. But if you do see it, don't be alarmed, stay calm and investigate, never dismiss it, but at the same time, don't overreact. Once you know what the open mouth stare is really all about and what it can mean, you'll be in a place of knowledge rather than a place of unease and concern. To the viewers of Senior Cat Wellness, this topic: have you ever seen it firsthand, your cat just standing there, mouth wide open? What was the reason for the posture, and how did you respond? I'd love to know your stories. As I mentioned in the introduction, it can be humorous, and it can also be a bit scary. We somewhat come to expect that look from dogs, but cats, not so much. Your thoughts and opinions on the open-mouthed feline stare, that comment section, as always, it's all yours. And if you enjoyed this content, please give the video a like and subscribe to the channel. I'd love to have you as a member of the Senior Cat Wellness family. And until next time, thank you so very much for watching, and I will talk to you later.